Hello IP students. Today our topic is computer network and this is computer network part 3, and in this lecture we are going to discuss about switching techniques and transmission media. So let's start one by one. First of all, switching techniques. Switching techniques are used for transmitting data across networks, and there are three main types of switching techniques. These are circuit switching, message switching, and packet switching. So switching techniques are used for transmitting data across networks. First one is switching techniques. When a call is placed, the switching equipment within the system seeks out a physical copper path all the way from the sender to the receiver. It is must to set up end-to-end connection between computer before any data can be sent. The circuit is terminated when the connection is closed. In circuit switching, resources remain allocated during the full length of the communication and after a circuit is established and until the circuit is terminated and the allocated resources are freed. So there are three main points here in circuit switching. First of all, there is an end-to-end connection between computers. It is a very important point. End to end, actually it is already marked with a red color. End to end connection between computers. And second point is that in the circuit switching is terminated when the connection is closed. So it is terminated when the connection is closed. And third point is resources which are allocated to different computers are freed when the connection is closed. So these are the three important points regarding to circuit switching. So in circuit switching, basically there is a end-to-end connection. Second point is when the circuit is terminated, the connection is closed. And third point is resource remains allocated during the full length of the communication. It means we cannot take back resources when the communication is going on, and after communication is complete, only then resources are freed. So these are the three important points regarding to circuit switching. Next, circuit switching is a transmission technology that has been used since the first communication network in the 19th century. So it is the oldest technology. That is the fourth important point. It is the oldest technology, and since it is used in the 19th century, so it is the oldest technology. So now there are 4 points in it. First of all, it is the oldest technology. Second point is it requires basically end-to-end connection. And third point is the circuit is terminated when the connection is closed. And in circuit switching, resources remains allocated during the full length of the communications. And after the circuit is established and until the circuit is terminated, and the resources allocated are freed. So these are the four important points. First of all, it is the oldest. Second, there is end-to-end connection. Third, circuit is terminated, then circuit is terminated when the connection is closed, and resources are allocated during the communication. So these are the four important points regarding to circuit switching. Next is message switching. So in the source, computer sends data or the message to the switching circuit, which store the data in the buffer. Buffer means temporary memory. Then using any free link to the switching circuit, the data is sent to the switching circuit. An entire message is sent to the destination. It reaches through the different intermediate nodes following the store and forward approach. And one of the most important point is that no dedicated connection is required. So there are three important points in it. First of all, it works on the concept of store and forward. It means first of all data must be stored, and after that data will be forwarded to the desired location or to destination. And second important thing is that there is no dedicated connection required. There is no dedicated connection required as required in circuit switching. And third important point is that data stored in buffer means temporary memory. Third point is packet switching. So what is packet switching, or what is a packet? Actually, packet switching introduced the idea of cutting data into different pieces, and these small pieces are called packets, which are transmitted over a network. So first of all, what is packet? Packet is small data pieces or small pieces of data, and these are transmitted over a network. And one of the most important thing regarding to packet switching that is that there is no resource allocation required in packet switching, and packet switching introduced in 1960. And each packet is transmitted, each packet may follow any route available, and at destination packet may reach at random order. So order does not make any matter as far as packet switching is concerned. And switching may follow any route available route. And third important point regarding to packet switching is that at the destination, when all the packets are received, they are merged to form the original message. So at destination point, all the packets are again merged and make a original message. And last point regarding to packet switching is that in packet switching, all the packets are of fixed size. So packet are of fixed size or equal a fixed size are stored in main memory, and they are stored in main memory means RAM. And if no data is available at the sender at some point during communication, then no packet is transmitted over the network and no resources are wasted. So we can summarize it. First of all, it introduced in 1960. Second thing is packet is basically packet switching basically introduced the idea of cutting data into different pieces, and these small pieces are known as packets, and which are transmitted over a network, and these are of fixed size. These are of fixed size, and they may follow any route available, and at destination point they again merge to make a original message. And if no data is available at the sender at some point during a communication, then no packet is transmitted over a network, and no resources are wasted. So these are the some important point regarding to packet switching. So these are the three types of switching techniques. So again we can summarize it. First of all, in circuit switching there is an end-to-end connection required, and the circuit is terminated when the connection is closed. And communication during communication, circuit switching resources remains allocated, and after a circuit is established and until the circuit is terminated, and then the allocated resources are freed. In message switching, basically follow the data store and forward approach, and no dedicated connection is required. And in packet switching, data basically divided into different pieces called packets, and these packets are of equal size and they may follow any route available route. And at the destination point, all packets are merged to form an original message. So these are the three different types of switching. So it may be asked in examination that what are the different types of switching techniques. So these points, as far as points regarding to these switching techniques must be so points regarding to these. First of all, you write these important point on a copy and then learn it. Next our topic is data channel. So first is there are two terms, baud and bit per second, and there is bandwidth. So basically what is bit per second? What it is used to measurement, and for what measurement? For the information carry of a communication channel. and measurement units are bit. 1 byte is equal to 8 bit, as we know that 1 kilobyte per second is equal to 1024 bytes, 1024 bytes per second. And 1 kilobits per second means 1 kilobits per second. Here B is in small letter, you can easily see that B is in small letter. And what is bandwidth? It is the amount of information transmitted or received per unit of time, and it is measured in kilobytes per second or sometimes megabytes per second, depend on speed. Our next topic is transmission media. So a transmission medium is a medium of data transfer over a network, and it can be wired or wireless. And there are numerous media which can be divided into two basic categories: guided media means wired, or unguided media means wireless media. So there are two basic types of media, guided or unguided, and we can say in easy terms wired or wireless. In this lecture we are going to discuss only unguided media. In our next lecture we will discuss about unguided media. So what are guided media? First one is twisted pair cable, second is coaxial cable, and third is fiber optic cable. So guided media, a number of various types of cables are used to transfer data over computer networks. And the first one is twisted pair cable. And why it is called as twisted pair cable? And it is the most common form of wiring in data communication application. So it is the most common form of wiring, and in this there are two identical wires wrapped together in a double helix, and the bleeding of a signal from one wire to another, and which can be corrupt signal and cause network errors. This form of signal interference is called the crosstalk. So what is crosstalk? Crosstalk is nothing but only the interference of signal, because there are two wires, identical wires, and which may cause bleeding of signal. As a result of this, signal may be corrupted, and this phenomenon is called the crosstalk. So to reduce crosstalk, wires are twisted. Wires are twisted because of crosstalk. To reduce crosstalk, wires are twisted in twisted pair cable, and this is the diagram of twisted pair cable. You can see that there are two wires and these are twisted to each other. These are the conductors and these are the insulator. Remember the concept of crosstalk. Crosstalk is nothing but only the signal interference due to the bleeding of signal from one wire to another. Now, types of twisted pair cables. There are two types of twisted pair cables. First is unshielded twisted pair cable, also called as UTP. Second is shielded twisted pair, shielded twisted pair STP. So this is a diagram of UTP and STP. We can easily see that there is a metal shield in STP, but there is no metal shield in UTP, and other portion is same. So the difference between these two is metal sheet. First one is unshielded twisted pair cable. As the name says, unshielded. That means there is no shield at all in unshielded twisted pair cable, UTP. So UTP cable is a cable used in computer networking that consists of two shielded wires twisted around each other. And UTP cabling is used extensively for local area network and telephone connections. So as far as application is concerned, UTP is used in local area network and in telephone connections line. This is a diagram of unshielded twisted pair cable. This is a PVC jacket here. This is the foil and these are the copper wires in it. Now the types of UTP categories. There are basically 8 different types of UTP categories, 9 different types of UTP categories, in which Cat 1 used for old telephone cables and its data rate is up to 1 megabytes per second. Cat 2 data rate is up to 4 megabytes per second. For Cat 3 it is 10 megabytes per second. For Cat 4 it is up to 16 megabytes per second. Cat 5 speed is up to 100 megabytes per second. For Cat 5e it is up to 1 gigabyte per second, and Cat 7 maximum speed is 10 gigabytes per second. And these are used for different purpose. So, and maximum length they are given is same for all, so you have to remember only the types and the speed and the purpose, especially for the Cat 1, Cat 2 and the last Cat 7 we used in Ethernet. Next is shieldless twistor pair cable, STP. This type of cable comes with shielding of the individual pairs of the wires. So there is a difference between UTP and STP in the form of a shield. There is a shield in STP, but there is no shield in UTP. So remember this point. There is the only difference between UTP and STP. So in this type of cable comes with shielding of the individual pairs of wires, which further protect it from the external interference. And why shield is given in STP? Because to protect from external interference. And STP offers greater. So the difference between shielded twisted pair cable and UTP is in terms of shield. Now we can easily see the diagram of UTP and STP. There is a shield, metal shield in STP here, and there is no shield in UTP. So this is the basic difference between UTP and STP. So the shielded twisted pair cable, first point is this type of cable comes with shielding of the individual pairs of the wires, which further protect it from external interference. So it protects from external interference. And STP offers greater protection from interference and crosstalk due to shielding. And only advantage over the UTP is greater protection from the crosstalk and interference. It is heavier and costlier than UTP, and the maximum segment length is same as the UTP. So the basic difference is shield. STP contains shield and there is no shield in UTP, and because of a shield there is less interference crosstalk in STP as compared to UTP. As far as price and price is concerned, STP is much more costlier than UTP, and maximum segment is the same, so it does not have much more effect. And most important point is that in UTP, STP provide less crosstalk interference, and in comparison to as compared to UTP, STP have less crosstalk and interference. This is a diagram of STP. You can easily see that. PVC jacket here, copper lines here, shield here. Now use. It is used in local telephone communication, and it is used for data transmission over short distance up to 1 kilometer. So up to 1 kilometer it is very useful. And advantage, it is easy to install and maintain. It is very simple. inexpensive, low weight, and suitable for local area networks. So mostly used in local area network. As far as disadvantages are concerned, it is not suitable for long distance due to high attenuation and low bandwidth support, and low speed is also a matter. So overall, it is, we can say that it is used for local area network, and it is easy to install and maintain, and not suited for high long distance. So these are the points regarding to STP. Now second point is coaxial cable. So let us first of all see the diagram of coaxial cable. This is the diagram of coaxial cable, and it is little bit different from twisted pair cable. As we can see that there is no twisted pair at all, and also there are two shields in outer conductor and inner conductor. There are two conductor, inner conductor and outer conductor, and outer conductor is also known as shield. So this is the diagram of coaxial cable. Now let's take its point one by one. First of all, coaxial cable consists of two conductors, the inner conductor and outer conductor. We can easily see that this is inner conductor and this is outer conductor, known as shield. The inner conductor is held inside the insulator, with the outer conductor is woven around it, providing a shield. So this point is already discussed. This is outer conductor. An insulating protective coating called a jacket or plastic cover. There is a plastic cover also. An insulating protective coating called a jacket plastic cover covers the outer conductor. So it covers basically the outer conductor, and it is much less susceptible to interference and crosstalk. And the outer shield protect the inner conductor from outside electric signal. Now this is a very important point. Why outer shield is required? Outer shield is required to protect the inner conductor from outside electric signals. So because of this, outer conductor is required to protect it from outer signal, electric signal. As far as the types are concerned, there are two main types, thicknet and thinnet. Segment length of thicknet is up to 500 meter and segment length of thinnet is up to 185 meter. It is used in TV channel communication. As far as advantage is concerned, it is better than twisted pair cable, great speed in it, offer high bandwidth and bandwidth up to 400 megabytes per second, and can be used for broadband transmission and popular for TV network. So basically it is used for TV channel communication, TV networks or cables. And as far as the disadvantages are concerned, the only disadvantage is that it is expensive than twisted pair cable, and it is also not compatible with twisted pair cable. There are two types, thicknet and thinnet, and the difference in terms of segment length. Thicknet is of 500 meter and thinnet segment length is of 185 meter. Now advantage, not affected by any kind of noise, high transmission capacity, speed of light, I think. Okay, so these are the advantage and disadvantage of coaxial cable. Only advantage is that it is better than twisted pair cable and it has a great speed as compared to the twisted pair cable, and speed is up to 400 megabytes per second. And disadvantage is that it is much expensive as compared to twisted pair cable, and is also not compatible with twisted wire, and it is used in TV networks or TV channel communication. Now optical fibers or fiber optics. What is optical fiber or fiber optics? Optical fiber consists of a thin glass fibers that can carry information at frequency in the visible light spectrum and beyond. The typical optical fiber consists of a very narrow strand of glass called the core. Now let's see its diagram. This is the diagram. This is the core, cladding, and coating. This is a diagram of optical fiber cable. What is the role of core? Basically, the core, the glass or plastic through which the light travels, and the optical fiber work on concept of light, refraction of light. So this is core, and the core is a basically glass or plastic through which the light can travel, through which the light travels. Second is cladding. Basically, cladding covers the core and reflect light back to the core. And third is protective coating, which protect the fiber. The cladding covers the core and reflect light back to the core. Now, so there are some important points. First of all, fiber optical cable consists of thin glass fibers that can be carry information at frequency of the visible light. So when we compare twisted pair cable, coaxial cable and fiber optical cable, then speed of fiber optical cable is much more higher than twisted pair cable and coaxial cable. And speed is up to light frequency, which basically optical fiber consists glass fibers, and the glass fiber can carry information at frequencies in the visible light spectrum. So speed is very much higher as compared to others. And second point is that the typical optical fiber consists of a very narrow strands of glass called the core. I think core is already discussed. This is core. Consist optical fiber. Around the core is a concentric layer of glass called the cladding. This is the concentric glass called the cladding, and the role of cladding is to, it basically covers the core and reflect light back to the core. And the third is around the core is a concentric layer of glass called the cladding. And third point is a typical core diameter is 62.5 microns, and as we know that 1 micron is equal to 10 to the power minus 6 meter, and typical cladding has a diameter of 125 microns. Coating the cladding is the protective coating of plastic. It is called the jacket. It is called the jacket. This is called the jacket. And an important characteristics of fiber optics is refraction, and refraction is the characteristic of material to either pass or reflect light. So this is the diagram. Now advantage and disadvantages of optical fiber. Basically, large capacity of bandwidth, faster transmission rate. These are the two main advantages of optical fiber cable. And disadvantage, physical vibration will show up as signal noise and difficult to merge. So these are the two disadvantages of optical fiber cable. So basically, is it difficult to merge? It is a main disadvantage of optical fiber cable. And as far as advantage is concerned, large capacity of bandwidth and faster transmission rate. And because of this, in most of the places, optical fiber cables are preferred for long distance communication. I hope uh, you understand all these terms. So first of all, write main points or key points regarding to transmission media, and draw its diagram on a copy. And also there is a topic called switching techniques. Write key points of switching techniques, whether it is packet switching or circuit switching or message switching. This will be these the both of them are very important topic as far as your board examination is concerned. Thank you for watching this video.